Justin Noe.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Abigail. All right, so she gave a fantastic overview, so that kind of goes over this slide. One thing I do want to mention is I found God a few years back, and that changed my life, and it's kind of put me on the path that I am today, so I thank him for all of that. Yep. Was born and raised right here in Florida, not many of us, right up the road in Brooksville specifically. Joined right out of high school, did 20 years, went across the country, got a bunch of prizes that you see up there. My beautiful wife, Lena, our 4 beautiful daughters. We have a dog, Heidi, who's not pictured here. She is fantastic as well. She's blonde, just like the other girls in our house. So only blonde females and me. All right. But I like to say I'm not your average realtor because I got my start as an investor. So I always look at things through that lens, and that's kind of what we're going to be talking about here today, is how to get into your first investment property. But first, real quick, there we go. So this is our team, our sales team with some folks on our investment team as well. Our mission is to help people build generational wealth through real estate. We believe that. We talk about it twice a week in our meetings. That is what we lead with, is that. So it truly is our mission and what we want to do to help people with. All right. It was a Tachi photo. Absolutely. Would I go with anyone else? Imagine buying a home that pays you back, not just a place to live, but your first step towards wealth. Who here owns a home? All right. So about half of us currently own a home. So that means the other half, this would be a great strategy for you to get started in real estate and building generational wealth. It's how Lena and I got started, and that's why we love this method. And reason being, it mitigates your risk. It maximizes your learning, and you can multiply those experiences later down the road. Everyone wants to try to get a home run at their first at bat. Go out there and get on base. If you get on base, you have an opportunity to score for the team. So that's how we look at it now. At the time when we first started, we were just, young, dumb kids getting after it. So we call this the live-in flip versus the fix-in flip. So you're talking about how to get started and where you could end up in a more advanced method. We're going to talk about the two. So here's the differences. A live-in flip kind of sounds like it. You live in it and while you flip it. We'll talk about why it's so much better here in a little bit. Fix and flip, it's going to be more advanced. You have experience doing it, right? You aren't living in the property. You have found this through various different methods, and you are probably paying people to do a lot of the work on the property. Okay, so some of the differences here, right? Lower risk when you do a live-in flip. You're going to be living in the home. You got to live somewhere, so you're going to have to pay a rent or a payment or whatnot. You might as well be paying yourself. If you buy a a fix and flip type property, you're going to be able to get a better deal on that because it's probably ugly and it probably needs some renovations that you could do yourself and save some money on not paying contractors and things like that. Easier financing. You can get FHA loans, VA loans, conventional loans. You're expanding the amount of products that you'll have available to you. Christine and her team probably have a ton. The first 2 properties that we purchased were with the VA loan, so we didn't have to come out with any money out of pocket, and we actually got money at the closing table at both of these homes. Flexible timeline, right? You're not in a rush. Like when you're in the advanced method, you're trying to get these done within like 3 to 6 months. So you have more time in the home, which allows for appreciation, allows you to learn, it allows you to do things over time. You can get tax benefits. So you're not, so if you were, I'm not a CPA, talk to a licensed professional about this, but you can save yourself quite a bit of money on capital gains tax because if you live in it for 2 years, you're not exposed to that. And it's great for beginners because you get to learn the process and you get to build equity over time, which is the way that most real estate and people become millionaires through real estate is because they hold it for a very long time. So a fix and flip, just a more advanced strategy of that, right? But it's higher risk. You have higher carrying costs. You don't live in the home, but you still have to pay all of the same expenses for a home. You got to pay for insurance. You got to pay your taxes. You're going to have to pay for power, water, sewer, all of the various things that are going on in that house. You've got to pay for the renovations. More than likely, you're buying it in a company. So if you do have to hire a residential contractor to do the work for you, they've got to pull permits on it, all these other things. So it is a higher risk thing, right? And then you're also getting hard money. So the financing that you're going after, you usually have to have experience to get it, right? Hard money lenders aren't just going to lend to anyone. You could also go for private money, but that's requiring you to find someone who has enough money to execute your project, whether that's your own funds or somebody else's. You have a tighter timeline, right? Again, before you could have like 2 years. Here, you don't have that time. Like, you've got to get this thing churned out, put it back on the market, so that way you can make a profit on it. The longer that thing sits, the more money you are stacking up in interest to your hard money lenders, and they're charging you 12% interest a year, which is way more than what you're going to get on a VA or FHA loan. You get no tax exemption because you're selling it within that year time frame. You are not going to get any tax benefits there. That is a short-term capital gain, and you are paying 25% taxes on that money. So that's something you have to plan for when you are doing that type of thing. It's advanced. It's for advanced people that are that have done this before. That's why we recommend, if you're getting started, go ahead and start in a live-in flip. Okay, so this is the house. We bought this in North Carolina. It's the second house we purchased in the past. We've talked about the first one that we did. And so here are some of the numbers. We bought it in 2016 for $210,000. It was like a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom home on an acre and a half. It had 3 lots with it. We had about a $20,000 renovation budget. I did a lot of the work myself. Got about halfway through scraping the ceiling of the house and realized that ain't me. So I called somebody, they came in, finished the scraping, did the painting on the house, cost us like $5,000, and it was worth every penny of that. So our monthly payment on it was only $1,360. And then when we turned around and turned it into a rental, we sold it years later, which we'll talk about here shortly, we rented it out for $1,900. And so with that, our cash flow over the 3 years that we rented it out, we made $20,000 on that cash flow. Now, we didn't have any major improvements that we had to do, and that's why we were able to take all the money we would normally set aside for repairs and maintenance and stuff. It ended up turning into cash flow, so that's why we were able to calculate it that way. But it was actually cash flowing on a per-month basis with our calculations a lot less. Our sold price, 4 years later, $327,500. Again, we didn't even fix it up all the way that we wanted to, but the market had appreciated so much in that amount of time that we went ahead and sold it. We had a total profit of $77,850 in 4 years, so you can do the math on that, almost $20,000 a year of profit on that. We actually had some debt pay down. That's not calculated in that, but you know, we paid some of that debt down, and then the renter paid the rest of that, some more of that debt down for us. Some pitfalls, some things you want to think about: underestimating your costs. That happens to me like all the time, so we are always putting in overages now to ensure that that doesn't happen. Taking on projects beyond your skill level. While I was skilled, it doesn't take a lot of skill to scrape, popcorn ceilings off. There is a method that you can be way better at and way faster. And that guy, what took me 5 days to do half, took him 1 day to do the other half. And then for getting the resale market preferences, what do other buyers want out of that property? Because that is what you want, isn't necessarily what other people's want. And then why this matters for building wealth. We are getting wrapped up here, so you can take a snapshot of that. But Generational Wealth Blueprint, please, if you want to get this, it's a monthly newsletter that we offer now. We're just starting it this month. It is fantastic. Lena helps us out with that, and it has a ton of tips and tricks in there for you. So sign up for it, and you'll get it monthly in your email inbox. Give us some feedback. I respect everybody in here, and I would love your opinion on what we could do to provide a better product. And then finally, we do Relentless Growth once a month. Our next one is September 30th. It's a free event to the community. Please come out. We've got food, drinks, and a great speaker. And that's it. Thank you.